I found a fantastic piece of content, guys. You know that I'm preaching here on this channel. Put all your time into researching your companies you invest in. That not only means that you invest your time into researching the companies and the company news, but also go a little bit further than that. Like, for example, following the guys behind those companies. And for Virgin Galactic, it is Chamath Palihapitiya, the billionaire from Silicon Valley. He has a podcast, for example, with the famous venture capitalist Jason, or two other guys that are also multimillionaires, guys, and he is the own billionaire, as we know. So they are talking about politics, they are talking about industries, they are talking about economy, they are talking about finance, stocks, venture capital, business, entrepreneurship. So very, very great podcast. Check it out, subscribe there. It's called All In. Now, it's basically very interesting because sometimes, just very few times, there is some very nice information that leak out while they discussing things. And they actually came to the topic on how to fund deep technology companies, right? Like Virgin Galactic, right? Is it good to just put, $500 million on the table and say, hey, make it, or by milestone, or what happened in the past? And it's very interesting what they said, and that's why let's roll the clip.
Chamath, you've done deep tech investing, and you've done...
I mean, Virgin Galactic would fall into that, or no? Yeah.
So, how do you think about deep tech investing, Chamath, and where there's a role for venture capital, private market, dollars?
Yeah, I've done a lot of deep tech investing, and my whole thing was I've always looked at the point where something is completely de-risked technically, and it's about then the exploitation of a market. Otherwise, it's exactly what David said. So I'll give you an example. A company called Relativity Space is now the second most valuable private spaceflight company after SpaceX. Okay, YC company, I led the Series A. What were they trying to do? Their stated goal at the time was, we want to 3D print the entire rocket and the entire engine. And I said, wow, okay, well, when we did the math and we tried to figure this out and have the same launch capability as SpaceX, all of it comes down to, okay, well, how do you want to de-risk this? And what Tim and Jordan's first idea was, well, first we want to basically prove that we can actually get a certain printing capability done, because you're talking about these extremely, energy intensive, extremely technical printers, and effectively writing printer drivers, right? And to be doing it at a scale where you can hand that off to NASA, and they can take that engine, literally strap it down with chains, called the hold down test, fire the engine and say it works.
Doesn't blow up.
Doesn't blow up. And I said to Tim, how much does that take? And Tim was like, I could probably do that on $10 million. I said, you're done on $10 million.
Yeah.
And
but
so,
if it was $100 million.
The only person that would have written a $100 million check to de-risk that doesn't understand what they're trying to prove at that point in time. Because what he was trying to prove was the ability to use the printer. He wasn't saying, I'm trying to build a next generation rocket motor, right? So similarly with Virgin, Virgin got to a point where it's like it had flown demonstrably in the air. So what did it prove? It proved the flight profile worked. It proved the engine worked. It proved all the navigational componentry worked, and it proved the safety envelope worked, which means that it could basically act as a glider under all kinds of boundary conditions. That's an enormous amount of technical progress. And then at that point, I'm willing to invest billions of dollars. And so to David's point, you have to have
a revenue model early too. Like, that's one of the things about being an entrepreneur, is figuring out how you stay alive while you answer these questions. And you came up with a brilliant one, or whoever was doing Virgin Galactic, which is people will overpay.
No, but Virgin was a 15-year process where Richard Branson, to his credit, did exactly what David said. Here's $10 million, get to milestone 1. Here's $25 million, get to milestone 2. He did the exact venture capital model. It's just that he did it by himself. I think what David is saying, which I agree with, is you should never short circuit that and say, here's $500 million pre-Series A.
Yeah,
just
I'm
go
agreeing
off.
with that. Sure.
Otherwise,
I mean, magic leap.
You'll be working at something for 20 years with nothing to fucking show for it, as in fusion, as in quantum computing.
All right.
You end up with a...
So because they talk a little bit, advanced, let's say, I want to break it down very easily for you, okay? So what they are saying is Richard Branson, from his own money, over the last 15 years, did what a venture capitalist should do in a case of Virgin Galactic. Okay, so he gave them 10 million and do the first milestone, for example, proof of concept, which was the X prize, right? Then the next 15 when you build the spaceship, you know, the next generation. Then the next 25, you know, to build and go first time into space, and so on, you know. So you have these milestones that are very good for the team as well as for the venture capitalists. So it's like a win-win situation because both know where they are standing, they know their milestone, they seeing, okay, is the milestone achieved, why not, do they need more money, and so on and so forth. So you can see here that Chamath believes that Virgin Galactic did exactly the right thing with Richard Branson with his own money. And now they became to a very advanced, very stable, very nice area where it's basically the risk technically wise, okay? So there's still the question, okay, will they have enough customers? Will the market will be big enough? And so on and so forth. But now it's all about, you know, the de-risking of the technology. What does it mean? So the risk prior was obviously that, you know, the spaceship is not ready, okay? They didn't went to space, it doesn't work, what happens if the mail function is there, and so on and so forth. But actually, if you're looking just into the last 12 months, you can see they went to space, okay, and came back. And they did it multiple times. Now, they also proved that in case of any mail function, they could glide back to the Earth like very, very nicely, very, very safely, okay? How it is should be designed. So all of that is like ready, okay? Ready. I mean, we are just having to make a few more test flights, but they showed that actually the concept works, right? So the proof of concept is done. So this is what I really like, and you know, then he emphasized something that he would put even more, that he wanted at this kind of stage put billions into the company to scale, and this is nicely to hear because it's just showing you first, Chamath is still behind the company 1000%, even though he sold his personal shares to invest into maybe several different companies that will change the world, but still, you know, you have to understand his concept. It's his concept to support as many specs as possible to create this ecosystems of different companies, innovating different kind of industries, and for that he needs lots of money, okay? So I don't take it too bad that he sold the shares. Secondly, it's nice to see that from time to time this kind of comments come out and he really shows you that it's really first they did their, you know, due diligence with seeing, okay, where is the de-risk for us as investors investing into Virgin Galactic. And I think this also combines with the CNBC interview that he gave, you know, a couple of months ago when he said, you know, he thinks this is one of his safest investments that he ever did. It's quite interesting that the circle is closing. And guys, you know, this kind of things I love to teach here on this channel. So if you want more, check out the X10 Masterclass. You can get in now for the original price, while in the next days I will upload the Virgin Galactic case study with 57 new videos. And this will be absolutely insane because not only do you get the case study, you get also all the other 100 episodes of content, how to find X10 stocks with Excel sheets that you can use. And you will get access for life in our Discord chat. Nothing beats this kind of value. Check it out and subscribe and like for this channel. Ring the bell, and thank you very much for tuning in. I think this was a very, very interesting and very, very important message of Chamath again to us early space investors.